Hello, friends. Thank you for joining me today. It is the 30th of October. We're at the end of the month. Our meditation for today is about gentleness. So I want to apologize for not coming online at noon yesterday. I was setting up outside here on the yoga mat, and somehow I locked myself out of my house. No shoes, no phone, no keys, nothing. My dog was inside looking at me. I'm outside with no way to get in. Fortunately, my car was unlocked and there was a blanket in the car. So I spent the afternoon napping, waiting for my husband to get home. Was about to break a window. It was just really an eventful day. So I really apologize for not coming online yesterday. I appreciate so much that y'all are joining me today. Let's get started. Today we're going to start in a seated position. We'll see how our time goes. We might do our whole sesh on our mats here. Today's meditation is about gentleness. So let's start here in easy pose. It's called, we're crisscross applesauce. You might know it that way. Make sure that we're in this position. You can feel your sit bones. Maybe you need to kind of wiggle around. Find your sit bones. Our spine is nice and straight, nice and neutral. Our weight is evenly on both of our hips. Our chin is tucked here. We're going to avoid the screen slump. We're going to sit up nice and tall. Chin is tucked. Top of our head is reaching towards the ceiling. Hands come to our knees. Maybe your palms are open in a receptive posture. Whatever feels comfortable to you, but let's settle in here. Take a few really deep breaths. Try to exhale for a little bit longer than you inhale. One more time. Let's bring our arms over our head on the inhale. Reach towards the ceiling, and on your exhale, right hand drops to the mat, left hand comes up and over and down. Let's switch. Big inhale, right arm comes up and over. Our weight is still on both of our sits bones. Nice and tall and big. Exhale, let it all out. Let's bring our right ear to our right shoulder here. Another long exhale. Let's keep our spine nice and neutral. The movement is happening in our cervical spine here. Other side. Nice deep inhale. Nice long exhale. And other side one more time. Right ear to right shoulder. Maybe your left hand reaches to the floor. Deep in that stretch. Maybe your left arm comes right out to the side, parallel to the floor. And head comes up, arms come down. This time, one more time, left ear to left shoulder. Right hand reaches to the floor. Maybe your right hand reaches long out to the side. And let's come up, release that arm. Let's roll those shoulders 3 times. And let's do a bit of a seated cat and cow here. Remember to sync your breath. Exhale when you round your back. Inhale when you press your tummy forward. And come up nice and tall to the center. Big inhale, nice and long. On your exhale, open those shoulders over to the right. Inhale, release slightly. Exhale, open wider. And around to the front. Big inhale. Exhale, open to the left. Sits bones stay in place. Release to the front. Big inhale and exhale, open to the left. And around to the front. Let's do a pendulum here where we're keeping our hips stationary and we're rolling our shoulder girdle around our hip girdle. Maybe do a body scan here, how you're coming to your mat today. Other way. And nice. Let's do chest circles here. So we're going to keep our hips and our low back still. Our shoulders are going to be relatively still. We're just going to push our chest forward. It's a tiny micro movement. You could probably hardly see it if you're watching. Forward, and now let's come back to neutral and go back. We're pulsing back. Not much movement besides our rib cage sliding forward and back. Back to neutral, nice and tall, big inhale. And now we're going to slide our rib cage to the right and center and left center. There's not a lot of movement happening. Very small movement, left and right, left and right. And now let's round it out and do rib cage circles around our spine to the right. Now reverse to the left. Nicely done. Here we are. Shake it out. Let's come onto our knees and into our tabletop here. What we're going to do is come into our tabletop. Our knees are directly underneath of our hips. Our wrists are directly underneath of our shoulders. And we're going to do some cat and cow here. Remember to sync your breath. And while we're doing our cat and cow, we are going to be using a blanket or a nice long towel or yoga blocks. If you need to take a minute to go get those, I invite you to do so now. Or 2 couch cushions, throw pillows, something to put under your knees when we're sitting on our bum. And now come back to neutral. Slide your hips to the right. Bring your left leg out to the side. And what we're going to do is slide our foot up and down next to our body to open up our hip joints here. Slide your foot up and down. And bring that knee back to the floor. This time the right knee comes out. Weight is over your left knee. And we're going to slide our right foot up and down our mat in a straight line, warming up our hips. Nice. One more time. Okay, Let's come back to our mat. We're gonna bring our hips to the floor, sit back down. We're gonna bring our right leg long to the side. Our left foot is gonna come in towards our body. So we're sitting in kind of a half straddle position. What we're gonna do is sit up nice and tall here. Make sure that your weight is equally on both of your hips. We're going to keep our knee pointed to the ceiling. Our feet can be flexed and also pointed to the ceiling. We're going to sit up nice and tall on the inhale. On the exhale, we're going to rotate our shoulders so they're perpendicular to our leg. Big inhale, and on our exhale, we're going to hinge at the hips and bring our belly towards our leg. If you can grab your ankle, you're welcome to do that now. We're going to look at our toes the whole time. You might feel a stretch in your low back. You might feel a stretch in the bottom of your legs. And while we're here, maybe think about a time when in your life you continued doing something, pushing through the pain, or you pushed yourself in a yoga class and maybe strained a muscle or sprained a muscle because you're pushing too hard. Think about a time when you were pushing too hard, and just maybe set that down to the side. Set that idea to the side. Big inhale. On your exhale, see if you can go a little lower. Inhale, come up. Exhale, left foot comes out to the side. Right foot comes into the body. We're sitting up nice and tall. Big inhale. On your exhale, consider where your weight is. It should be on both of your sit bones. Sitting up nice and tall. Rotate those shoulders to be perpendicular to your leg. Big inhale, and on your exhale, hinge at the hips and bring your belly closer to your leg. Now, in these positions today, we're talking about gentleness. That's our meditation for today. So while you're in these positions, if you're feeling the stretch happening more towards your joint rather than in the belly of your muscle, then you can take that towel or that yoga block or that couch, throw pillow, whatever, and put that underneath your knee. Readjust your weight. Sit up nice and tall, neutral spine, tuck that chin. Square to your ankle here. Your shoulders are square to your foot. Big inhale, and on your exhale, hinge over and see if you can reach towards that ankle. We want the tension or the stretch to be happening in the middle of our muscle. So that means like the belly of your thigh, around the back of the middle of your thigh, around the middle of the back of your shin, your gastroc muscle, maybe the middle of your glutes. They might be getting a nice stretch here. But if you're feeling tension near your knee or near your hip joint, maybe back off about 25 to 50% even. If you're hypermobile, you might have to back off closer to 50%. We want a nice gentle stretch towards the end of our range of motion, but we're not going to be at that wall and bearing down. We're going to back off so we feel a nice gentle tension in the middle of our muscle. Go ahead and come up now. Bring your, you can push your pillow towards the side. Let's come into butterfly here. Maybe wiggle around. Enjoy that butterfly position here. Big inhale, sit up nice and tall. And now let's come to our knees. We're going to come to a kneeling position. And we're going to come into it's called an extended side angle pose, but we're going to do it kneeling this time. We've done this recently. So if you've been with me for the week, it's probably somewhat familiar to you. So we're going to start in a kneeling position. Our knees should be directly underneath of our hips, directly underneath of our shoulders. Our rib cage is centered, our chin is tucked, our spine is nice and long. We're going to shift our weight this time over our left knee. Our right leg comes out nice and long to the side. The sole of our foot is flat on the floor. And if possible, we're going to keep our foot facing the front of the room. Big inhale, nice neutral spine. On your exhale, left hand finds the floor. Right hand comes nice and long over top of our head, up by our ears. Let's try to keep our hips stacked over our left knee. And our arms, our left shoulder is stacked over top of our wrist. Our right shoulder is stacked over top of our left. Big inhale. On your exhale, maybe you open your chest and look at the ceiling. One more big inhale. On your exhale, rotate your right shoulder so that now it's open to the floor. Right hand comes to the floor. Right hand sweeps across the mat, picks up your left hand, sweep down to your right foot. Hands come onto the floor on either side of your right foot. And we're now mimicking that position we were just in on the floor. We should be feeling the stretch in the belly of our muscles. And exhale, come around to the front. Right knee comes onto the floor. Left foot comes out long to the side. Big inhale. Check your posture. Right hip should be over top of your right knee. Shoulders are square to the front of the room. Hips are also square to the front of the room. Sole of your left foot is on the floor. Big inhale. On your exhale, right hand finds the floor. Left hand comes long. Left arm over top of your left ear. Do some adjusting. We should have our hips stacked over top of our knee, our shoulders stacked over top of our right hand. Big inhale. Big exhale. Big inhale. On your exhale, reach that left shoulder towards the floor. Hands come down. Big inhale. On your exhale, open that chest to the ceiling. Look at the ceiling. Maybe your left hand falls behind you. On your next exhale, close that shoulder. Left hand comes to the floor. Left knee comes to the floor. Hands come around to the front. We're back in our kneeling position. Roll those shoulders back and down. We're going to come back to the floor. This time we're going to do it's called a seated wide angle pose. So what I recommend doing is finding those couch cushions, finding those yoga blocks, find that nice long towel, put that underneath of your knees, rolled up. Make sure that you find your sits bones. Your weight should be equally on both of your sits bones. Shoulders are stacked over top of your hips. Spine is nice and neutral. Chin is tucked. Top of the head is reaching towards the ceiling. Big inhale, and on your exhale, hinge forward at the hips slightly. You should feel a gentle stretch in the back of your the belly of your thigh muscles, maybe the belly of your shin, the back of your shins, maybe a little bit in your low back. The win here is that we've got a nice neutral spine and that we're closing toward the floor. Big inhale, big exhale. If you're feeling a lot of stretch in your joint, maybe back off just a little bit until that tension decreases. That's what I'm doing now. We're channeling our inner US Olympic gymnast or ballerina, your favorite ballerina, but as normal mere mortals here, we may not achieve that pancake position that our elite athletes are achieving, and that's okay. The win is that we're being gentle with ourselves and not pushing through the pain here. We're getting a stretch in the right location of our muscle. Try to do some deep breathing here. Inhale, come up slightly. Exhale, come down a little lower. Our meditation for today, a soft answer turns away wrath, but a harsh word stirs up anger. Ancient proverb. Okay, let's come back up to a nice tall position. Feet come around to the front. Feet come long in front of you. We're sitting on our sit bones. Sit up nice and tall. Big inhale. On your exhale, bring that left foot, sorry, to the outside of your right knee. Sit up nice and tall. Hug that knee. Left hand comes to the mat by your left hip. Right elbow comes to your left knee. Sit up nice and tall. On your exhale, open those shoulders to the left. And around to the front. Rest that ankle on that knee. Bring those thumbs into that arch of your left foot. Let's give ourselves a little bit of a foot rub here. Something nice and enjoyable after a straddle stretch. Rub the ball of that foot. Circle those toes. Circle that ankle. Rub the outside of your foot. Pinch that heel. And release. Sit up nice and tall. Shake those legs out. Right foot comes to the outside of your left knee. Sit up nice and tall. Hug that knee. On your exhale, right hand finds the mat beside you. Left elbow comes to your left knee. Sit up nice and tall and open to the right. And around to front. Rest that ankle on that knee. Rub down the inside of that arch. When has God been gentle with you? When has He given you a soft answer? Take those thumbs, rub the ball of that right foot. Circle those toes. Circle that ankle. Pinch down the outside of that foot. Pinch that heel. And let's shake it out. Let's grab those knees, rock onto your back, and now maybe rock your knees left and right to give your low back a bit of a massage. Now bring that right leg long to the mat. Left knee falls over to the right side of your body. Left arm comes long out to the side, reaching towards the wall. Maybe you look at your left hand. Big inhale. Nice long exhale. Rotate that left knee back to your chest. Give it one last hug. Reach that left foot long onto the mat. Bring that right knee to your body. Give it a hug. And then rotate that right knee over to the left side. Stretch that right arm out to the corner of the room. Maybe you look at your right hand. Big inhale. On your exhale, bring that right knee back to your chest. One last hug. Bring both legs long down the mat. Hands come overhead. Reach long towards either side of the room. Nice, long, yummy stretch. And when you're ready, relax. Bring your hands down to the side. Relax those arms and shoulders into the floor. Relax your head into the floor, knees. Maybe your feet fall open. And rest here for just 1 minute and maybe listen to where the Lord wants you to be more gentle with yourself and with others. And start to wiggle those fingers and those toes. Start to roll those ankles and those wrists. Wiggle your knees and your elbows. Roll over onto one side. Big inhale. Big exhale. Press up onto a seated position. Legs come crossed in front of you. Hands find your knees. Big inhale. Exhale, hands to heart center. May the light of the living God bless you and keep you today, my friends. Thank you so much for joining me. I'll see you tomorrow.